Am I live on both now, T?
You should be, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Not that anyone's watching, but yeah, you're live.
We'll give it to a count of 10 before I turn from the...
I'm also unsure if we're going to be catching in some of the AC audio going, so
Okay. So
I might.
all right. Very interesting. Oh, I got one viewer. Right on. Yes.
That might be me.
Oh, I'm up to 3 now. Thanks, Jason. Should I come off my splash now?
Okay.
Okay, we ready?
I think we are good.
Okay, I'm going front then. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Wacky Wednesday at my sewing room. And you can tell that we're in a little slightly different location than we normally are. The classroom is being used, so we have moved to what I humbly call my poker room. So welcome everyone to the poker room at my sewing room. All right, thank you so much. I'm Sandy and you're joining me for Simple Summer Sewing with Sandy. Today we are working on week 6, a card case. So that may explain a little bit about why cards dress like a dealer. Anyways, I'd like to make a quick shout out to everybody who watched last week, especially Wacky Wednesday, either Facebook or YouTube, or on Freaky Friday when Chelsea and I did our Freaky Friday with the turkey hat on. Anyways, I just want to say thank you to all of you who do watch us, who like us, who comment and share. We really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, special shout out to Teresa W., Elaine O., Carol G., Ann S., Tina B., Billy P., Denise B., Teresa S., Rhonda W. all the way out there in Ontario, Adrian G. Yo, Adrian out there in Ontario as well. And I can't believe it, Nicola P. signed on and said hello, but she's way, way across the pond. She's over in England, I believe. Anyways, and thank you to Ann D., Loanne F., Sandy A., Rose L., Robin S., who tunes in on YouTube from Maryland, Carol D., also shouting out to Joan D., Glenda and Mike, Jim and Maui Jim. Oh, sorry, that's Jean, not Jim, Maui Jim. Too many Jims. Hi, Jean and Maui Jim. Mary Z, who was just at the store. Mark and Betty. Nancy C. Betty W. Cam and Betty. I'd like to thank you all so much for being such wonderful listeners who are consistently with me all the time. Also today I need a really big shout out because you can see how lovely my decorations and everything are. This was set up by our very own Cliff, Kason, and Dawn because we needed a production area so that we could do today's show. So that's lovely. And a big shout out to Tyler who put out all my cameras so that we are able to function like we would be in the classroom. All right, so everybody, are you ready for another sewing lesson at my poker room? You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for accounting when the dealing's done. And I have to tell you, when a girl plays poker, she got to make sure she has a few aces up her sleeve, a few hidden gems. You got to be able to play this game. So, as a dealer, I have learned to count cards. Can you believe it? Yeah. There's 52 of them. All right. Anyways, today, if you haven't guessed, we're going to be working on a project called the card case. And this is my little sample of a card case. And you just open it up and oh, lo and behold, you can put all sorts of wonderful things in your card case. You can put business cards if that's what you desire, or more fun things like gift cards and all sorts of lovely stuff. I know that I would love mine filled with gift cards from my sewing room, but it has in it a Cineplex Odeon theater one, which is wonderful too, because then I can get into the theater and have popcorn. So we are going to be making a little card case today. All right, so I saw a list of the top 10 card games the other day. You know what's number one? Uno. Uno is number one. All right. Oh, you guys are such good fans. I can hear you chuckling away there. All right, so let's just focus on what we need for our... Oh, look, Tyler's got us going in all directions. So the first thing you need, of course, is a pattern. It's called Card Case. It's by the Quilt Company. It's $2.50, and it gives great instructions. Plus, I wrote all over mine with other instructions when you do things that you're not supposed to do, like I did last week. So yeah, hang in there and hope I don't make too many mistakes. Okay, so you're going to need this pattern, and on the back side of the pattern is your cutout for the template for the card case. So you can do a couple of things. I photocopied mine because I needed to cut it out and put it on my paper. Get into the camera here, get over a little bit. Or you can photocopy it right onto your cardstock that you need. So you need some cardstock. You need your pattern. You need to copy that pattern onto your cardstock and also onto something called Wonder Under, because you're going to do a lot of gluing. There's very little sewing this time and lots of gluing. All right, you're going to need some fabric, and this week I chose the the Timber Gnomies and Trees fabric, and I picked out some 1-inch ribbon that would go with it. So yes, there it is. So that's what I made my little case out of. But you know, these cases not only can be, you know, business cases where you make really serious fabric, or they can be fun Christmas fabrics or birthday fabric for birthday presents, anniversary presents, wherever you'd like to give someone a little gift card. All right, what else do we need? We definitely need a rotary blade, because you're going to cut out your rectangles of fabric. You're going to need a pair of scissors that are not your, oh, please don't use your fabric scissors. These are paper scissors for cutting paper. You're going to need a pen and ruler in case you want to mark on your cardstock where your fold lines are, where the ribbon lines are. You also need, I don't know if we needed pins. I think I need a pin to score the Wonder Under once I'm done. You also need 505 spray, because you're going to be spraying and putting this together. I would recommend a nice place where you have ventilation. I don't have that here, so poor Kason's with me, so he's going to have to smell my glue. And some parchment paper so we don't get this all over the place. Of course, you're going to need your thread, and this time we're using polyester thread. You can match it so you can hide it, or you can make it decorative with whatever color will show up. But you want polyester rather than cotton, because it gives a little stretch and a little pull so you don't pop the seams. All right, back to the front. Okay, so I think that's all of the equipment we need. I'll just make sure, I'll read it out to you again. Cardstock, 2 rectangles of fabric. And you could probably make your interior fabric different than your exterior fabric. In this case, I've made them the same. You need 14 inches of ribbon. Now they call for a snap, and and I don't have a snap and a snap tool. So if you remember back when we did the easy backpack, I got some fusible Velcro, iron-on Velcro, and that's what I've used as my little container catch. Okay. All right, you also need basic sewing supplies, definitely your iron, and this time I plugged it in, everybody. Thread, spray starch, paper, scissors, and parchment paper. I think that's everything that we need, so let's get started. Okay, so back to the top. So the first thing I did, of course, was to cut my fabric into my pieces and cut my ribbon to the lengths that they asked me to. So I've cut my finding it in the camera, here we go. I cut my 2 rectangles, so one will be front, one will be back. I cut my ribbon, and in this case they tell you to eventually cut it in half. So I did. So I have 2 halves of my ribbon. All right, so that's your first job. That's what you're going to do with your cutting board, your rotary cutter, and your big ruler. All right, now, next part, you're going to photocopy your pattern to make your template. So, and I did, you can get whatever cardstock you like, photocopy that on there, or photocopy the paper, it works either way. And then if you're not putting it directly onto your cardstock, you can trace it on using your paper and marking on here which is inside and which is outside, where the fold lines would be, and the placement of the ribbons and in what direction you place it. That's important. All right, so once you've got that all traced on, you're then going to take some Wonder Under, and you're going to actually trace that same pattern. You don't have to worry about doing the placement lines, but do mark outside and inside on it, because the outside is slightly bigger than the inside. So once you've got all of those marked and cut out, and I believe I have one of these already marked and cut out, you're going to actually apply the Wonder Under to the back side of your pattern. So I turn it over and there it is. So I'm not very good, I got a little crookedy, but that's okay because it's going to all be inside. Once you've got that, you're going to take a pin and score it. Okay, and just pull. Please make sure you let your Wonder Under cool on the cardboard. Boy, it really gets hot, so make sure you cool that so that this paper comes off very easy when you just score it with your pin. Sometimes you have a little problems if you do it too soon and it's still hot. It'll pull the adhesive right off with it, so make sure you do that. A little trick with Wonder Under, make sure that it is fresh, and if you've got some, make sure you store it in a plastic airtight baggie so that it doesn't dry out. Okay, so there, we've now attached our Wonder Under to the back side of our pattern. So now we're going to get out our ironing board. I just have to move this and move my ironing board over just a tad so you guys can see my ironing board. All right, move that. So what we're going to do is take our 2 rectangles that we made, and of course these ones are directional, so I want to make sure that my little guys are all pointing upward before I put my cardboard template on there. Okay, so we're going to take it, we're going to put it underside down, and we're just going to press it. So please be careful too, because this gets really hot and your fingers will get very sore very fast. Okay, I'm hoping this is warm enough that it will heat it up. Takes a little minute. Maybe I'll do it from the other side just to make sure that it's good and steady and it's all on there. Maybe I should have the iron hot enough. I don't want steam. I just want nice hot dry iron. Okay, and then here's the other one. Put it underside under. Now if you worry about getting Wonder Under on your mat or anything, please use your applique sheet. Don't do what I did and stick the gnome's legs to your iron. That always works well. All right, so just going to make sure that those are attached. They look fairly good. They're cooling off a little so we don't burn our hands. All right, so that's what we use our iron for. And that's the last time we use our iron. And we don't use our sewing machine till right at the end either. Okay, there they are. I'm going to let them cool for just a minute because it's hot. Okay, we'll let them cool. Just slide this out of the way. Now, I am going to get that piece of parchment paper I had, and I'm going to lay it out. Ooh, I made a mess. Oh well, that's okay. Here's the parchment paper. I'm going to lay that out. And I am going to place these with the fabric side down on my parchment paper. And this is the stinky part, Kason. I don't think I need any of those. I think those were the first parts. I'm dropping everything, but Kason's being so kind and making sure I bought everything. Okay, shake up your 505 spray. Try not to breathe this in. Do it in a ventilated area, but seeing as we're in the studio, we don't have a choice. So, and then I'm just going to lightly mist the whole thing. Cardboard and fabric. Okay, misted. That's it. Boy, that's smelly. Okay, now, hard part. We start at the corners. I'm going to move my little sticky spray out of the way. Start at the corner and you're going to make a little 45-degree corner right there and you're going to pull it downward, okay? Do it the same on this side. Right there. Start it on the edge and then pull the top down. That's that nice straight corner. All right. Then you kind of shrinky this stuff because it's going to be a little bit wider than what you need. But don't worry about all the excess fabric or anything because it's going to be inside your wallet and you won't see it at all. All right, there we go. And the other side. So we're just sticking down our fabric. Okay, just making sure that it's all inside. If you're worrying about the corner a little bit at the bottom, I nipped mine off. I just took the scissor and nipped it off so that it doesn't stick out the side at all. Okay, so there's one. See, all covered. Woohoo. Now, next one. Do the same, starting at the top. Start at your corner. And then you're going to fold this guy down. Do the other corner. Fold these guys down. And just work your fabric down so that it lays flat on your template. Okay. Do all the sides as well. They just stick. That's all you needed to do is stick. All right, now we get to the bottom. I've purled that under a little bit. We'll just stick this down. Now, I just going to make an extra little spray here. Just so that, because I got to put the ribbon on next. It goes on the inside side of your thing. Now, these two are going to be sandwiched together. So we got to make sure that our ribbon is coming out the back side. So you're starting it over on the back of the fabric. And the first ribbon placement line is right here and it says put it that way. So your end of your ribbons are going to run along that line and they're going to go upward. Okay. Now, depending on what you put in there, whether it's a lot of business cards or whether it's something really thick, you might want to give it a little extra space. If not, make it fairly tight, okay, and just touch those down. Take your second ribbon, here we go, on the back side of the fabric again, put it there. And then the ribbon line this time tells you to start with the excess going downward. So we go like that, run it along the ribbon line and just tuck those in, ends of the ribbons in. Okay? All right, now, lo and behold, guess what we get to do? We get to put the inside and the outside together. So we kind of even it out all the way along. Okay? And making sure it's down. It just sticks and glues to itself. So there it is. So now we're just going to make a little fold. That's okay. Let me grab that thing off the floor for just a second. So you can see there were fold lines on here. So if I look at this, my first fold line is about there. Okay. And my second fold line is about, let's get rid of the sticky stuff out of that. Fold that right along that edge. Okay. And they said to call for a second fold line right there, just below it. There we go. And then that turns up. Okay. And this turns down. Okay, there we got our folds. Before we go any further, you're now going to get your sewing machine out and your thread it up, and you're going to sew just along the inside of the inside edge. And just sew all the way down. Where's my sample? I don't know if you can be able to see it or not, because I did it in black, but you can see the stitching right along the inside edge, and that holds them all together so it can't come apart. Now they recommended that snap, but you know what, I don't have a snap, so I use the fun Velcro that sticks, and I ironed it on fuzzy and there, and then that just closes up. So once you've got this all stitched all the way around, find where your Velcro piece wants to be, and I have one right here, sticky little thing. Take the tapes off. Okay, put them together the best you can. Stick one to the top and stick one to the folded part. Now this is where you have fun. You're going to iron this, and this is really tough because this time for ironing it's really thick. So there's a couple of things we can do. So first we'll do the top part, and we'll just hold the iron right there on that little sticky fold and just hold it. Remember, if you pull the little pieces apart too soon, they won't stick. They'll just stick to each other. So while that's doing that, let's talk seriously about more jokes. All right? Okay. So how do you get 4 suits for under $2? Why, you buy a deck of cards. Oh, it's beeping at me. Woo, boy, is that ever hot. Okay, that's hot. Okay, let me just turn that over. I was in quarantine during the pandemic, and all I had was a deck of cards. You could say I was in solitary confinement. Yes. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know this game, but what's a crocodile's favorite card game? Snap. All right. Are you ready for more torture? I got a couple more jokes for you. So why are wolves like playing cards? They arrive in packs. All right, I will only torture you with one more joke. Are you ready for one more joke? It is, why couldn't the pirates play cards? Because the captain was standing on the deck. Ta-dum, boom, cha. All right, that was a Vegas style joke for you, wasn't it? All right, so now this guy, oh my God, that thing sticks tight. Let me go back to top for a second. So this has now been glued on. Very tough and hard to get open, but there you are. And I just close it up, and your little container is done. So don't forget to sew now around, all the way around, to hold it together with your sewing machine. And I just used a regular needle on my Bernina. I just used regular polyester Isacord thread and just sewed around. Very quick, very simple, lots of fun. And you can put whatever you like in them. They can be birthday presents, Christmas presents, anniversary presents, whatever you would like. All right, so believe it or not, that is how you make a card case. pretty simple this week, I tell you, pretty simple. All right, before we go, I have to tell you what's happening next week. So next week on our week number 7 of the Simple Summer Sewing with Sandy, we are going to be doing the On the 8 table runner. And this makes a really sweet table runner. Again, the pattern is by the Quilt Company. It's $2.50, so it's not a big investment. And for this one, you just need 2 different fabrics, light and a dark, and away we go. So that will be our next week's week number 7 of Simple Summer Sewing with Sandy. Okay, now before we close off today, guys, I do have a couple of announcements. Are you ready? Okay. Now, if you have been really enjoying summer sewing rather than anything else, we have 2 classes coming up that are sewing and quilting. And if you liked what we did today, making card cases, there's one you can make a big case. Anyway, so the first one is Patchwork in Paradise, and that's with our very own Barb. And that is going to be a story, a mystery, plus instructions. And then she's going to have a sew day for us where we all get together and sew. All right, so starting September 1st, that is $299 plus tax, $300 plus tax. And you get together and you sew I think there's some spots for in-store, or you do it virtually at home, or you go to someone's house and do it like Nancy and I are going to do it. We're going to get together afterwards and do it because, of course, we're working. But it is the 3rd Tuesday of each month, and it goes from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that's a really fun class. This is the 2nd of her novels, and we all enjoyed her first one, which was all about Aunt Annie. Secondly, the next class that's about sewing and making and doing like we did today is called Tools of the Trade, and that's with our new teacher, Patty B. And Patty B is going to be doing that class in September as well on the 17th, 23rd, and 24th. It is $250 plus tax, and that goes those 3 days from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you feel like you need to come in and have a look, you can come in and see that particular case. She has it all made up, called Tools of the Trade. And also, if you want to pick out your fabric for Patchwork in Paradise, we do have those bundles set out so you can see the lovely colors. All right, so those are our upcoming activities, next week's project, and this week's very quick project. So thank you ever so much, everybody, for tuning in for another week of Simple Summer Sewing, and I hope you enjoy the card case. It was probably one of the quickest ones we've done so far, and it wasn't too messy. And I didn't really wreck it up too badly. So that's wonderful. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I don't know how to turn my stuff off, but I'll just stand and wave at everybody and see if Tyler will come and visit me and shut us off. Oh, Cason's going to help out. What a doll. All right, thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. See you next Wednesday. Bye.